everyone. This is Stefania Pomponi. I'm one of the co-founders of Clever Girls Collective, and welcome to the CWord. We are here today with Jeremiah Owyang. You can follow him at Jowyang, at Jowyang on Twitter. He is an industry analyst and partner of customer strategy at Altimeter Group. They can be found at altimetergroup.com. He reviews social media and tech products, among other things, and we'll get into exactly what he does in just a second. But first, welcome, Jeremiah.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, and thanks so much for making the time. I feel like I've stalked you on Twitter for, I don't know, 5 years now, and this is I've been at your excellent Altimeter functions, and just thought your voice would be perfect for this series that we're doing. You always have interesting things to say. So if you wouldn't mind starting by describing what you do in 20 words or less.
I conduct research, identify trends, and help companies to profit from new disruptions. I did it in 10. How's that?
All right. Awesome. Okay, I think you might be the record holder. So what makes Altimeter's service clever?
So Altimeter, and I'm one of the partners. There's myself, Charlene, and Alan. We are former analysts from another firm. And what we tried is something different. We see that the internet is really the dominant force right now in the world. It's changed people and consumers and companies and even governments. It's empowered people to revolt and to connect to people and to coordinate revolts. And so the power of the internet is something I wanted to harness into the business model. And over the last few years, I've published a number of the research projects and have led some of those projects. And what we've done is we've practiced something called open research, where we allow the content, our research, which is 100% funded by Altimeter, to be shared openly in the market on the open and free internet. You don't have to purchase it, unlike some other business models that have done that.
Right.
And we wanted to use the internet as part of our power. And so that makes us clever. Sure, open content, nothing new, but for an analyst firm to do it, that is something that has been, we like to think it's a little bit unique.
It is unique, and I can vouch for that. I mean, at your events, you have your analyst reports, just stacks of them sitting out for people to take as they leave, and they sit on my desk, and we reference them all the time at Clever Girls.
Thank you.
Help us a lot when we're speaking with our customers. So if we could just stay on the topic of social media and technology and disruption for a little bit. We were talking earlier before we started recording about the concept of native advertising. And I would just love to hear your thoughts about that. It is such a hot buzz phrase right now. People talking about, content marketing, native advertising, especially vis-a-vis mobile. Like the banner ad strategy. So I would love to hear your thoughts.
Well, our true expert on the topic of native advertising would be our analyst, Rebecca Lieb. And I'll channel some of her thinking on this in her next research report, open research for everybody, is on this topic of native advertising. So she would truly be the expert. But at a broader sense, what I see right now is there's a trend of what we call converged media that's happening. And I co-wrote a report with her.
Yep. And
interviewed agencies and brands, and I'm sure we spoke to smart people, your clients, and probably many other folks, and we've talked to you before. And essentially we see that the differences between paid, which is advertising, owned, which is the content corporations create or manage, and earned, what the crowd says, paid, owned, earned, is all coming together into one type of media. And we believe in the future that all media will be this converged media. And you will not be able to tell the difference. And every type of media will have these all interlinked. Now, today we see there's like two out of the three are mixed. You can take any combination that you want. So today that's very common. But if you look at Facebook in the news feed, that news feed is converged media.
Very much.
Right? You've got paid content. You see brand sponsoring stuff. You see brand content based upon who you've liked. and then you see what your friends are saying, or people are commenting on that paid and sponsored content of their own. So that's already an example of the most sophisticated type of content that's emerging. Now, one aspect of that would be native advertising, where you see helpful, useful, entertaining content, content that you desire rather than disruptive content emerging in ads, hence that term, native advertising. But that term itself is being hotly debated. I would defer to Rebecca on the official Altimeter definition. That's my thoughts, Stefania.
Great. Thanks for sharing. I mean, we definitely have thoughts as well. We feel, you notice that we define ourselves as a company that provides content marketing and native advertising, because that is what our influencers do. You know, they create content that is native to their social media kind of comfort zone, whether it's on blogs or Instagram, Facebook, or Pinterest. And it's just, it's interesting to see that phrase now kind of being bandied about when we thought, this is what we've done all along. So we're embracing it, and we'll see where that goes. So a couple more questions. Growing up, is this what you thought you would be doing? We're going to kind of shift gears and get to know you a little bit now.
I've always been attracted to technology. You know, when I was perhaps a child, I thought maybe I've entertained the idea of being an architect, because I like to draw a lot at that time. But I've always been attracted to technology. And when I saw the internet emerge in high school and as I went to college, I said, oh, that's it. And I was intensely drawn towards it like a magnet. Mm-hmm. And I felt like I was empty if I wasn't part of that movement. Mm-hmm. And so that became a fascination, and I launched a blog just focused on that topic, on the web strategy blog. Yeah. And if my career mission, and I believe everybody should have a career mission. Every job you take, every project you take, every book you read, every conference you go should line up to your career mission. And my career mission is I explore how corporations connect to their customers using internet technologies. Mm-hmm. And in 20 years, I'll probably drop internet. It'll be digital or augmented reality or eyeball blinking technology. I don't know what. But yes. Today, the dominant is absolutely the internet technology. So that is my career mission. I help corporations connect to their customers using
that sounds like your next book, maybe something about career missions. how people can keep their focus, I guess, and make sure what they're doing, like you were saying, aligns to their goal.
Find that will help you in your trajectory. And today's modern worker, they have multiple careers, so that's not unusual. Mm-hmm. To have some focus in where you want to be at a broad level. And a career mission should be something that is stands the test of time, but broad enough to be flexible to the things you are, but helps you to make a decision on what is it that you want to do. And it's a really great sounding board. It's like, I help companies connect to customers using the internet. That's very, very distinct and clear. Mm-hmm. And so I hope everybody figures out how they can be that solution. When I think about careers, what makes a successful career, which I suppose is a C word for our wonderful series here, mm-hmm. I speak to young adults or college kids, and they say, what's the secret to careers? And in general, I think that there's three things that all careers, successful careers, need. And the first one is you absolutely have to have passion and have fun doing it. There's no question. If you don't, you won't be very good at it. You won't last on it. And somebody who does have passion is going to beat you out. Mm-hmm. So don't even do it if you really don't have passion for it. Mm-hmm. I'm serious about that. And you can tell when somebody is passionate about what they do. The second one is, and this has to fit into just having fun, it just can't be about going out and getting drunk and having parties. But the second one is actually solving somebody's problems. Mm-hmm. And the third component is that they will pay you or compensate you for it.
Yes.
Many people focus on the first two and end up doing things that don't make any money, and then they can't sustain that lifestyle. While they had fun, setting up a bar at a beach, but it's not going to sustain unless people are going to pay you. So there it is. Have fun, solve people's problems, get compensated. If you can do that, you will have a successful long-term career.
Right, and I would love to add to that. I get that question as well when I especially when I'm speaking to college age kids who are just starting out in social media, and I would say wait till you're 40 to find out what you really want to do. When I was And that just means give yourself a break. When you're 21, 22, there's a lot of pressure on you, to kind of maybe follow what your friends are doing, do what your parents.
Well, no,
yeah.
I agree.
And it wasn't. Lincoln and I started Clever Girls when we turned 40, and we had it just happened to be that way. But we had kind of several career iterations up to that point. We knew ourselves really well. Like you were saying, we knew that those things needed to be in place where we're not just doing this for fun. This is a business, and we thought we could help solve the problem that we saw out there of PR reaching influencers. But all of that kind of didn't come together until we were older. And so I often tell.
I like to say seasoned.
Seasoned.
Broader vision or more experience.
Wiser. And so just to kind of, I counsel kids to just kind of give yourself a break. Try a lot of things. Hopefully your life is long and you get to do everything you want.
But I agree with you. I tried different industries. I tried different types of roles to figure that out. And I didn't develop that career mission until my late 20s.
Right.
And then I said, okay, I think I got a beat on this.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm good at and what I love to do.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes time. So transitioning a little bit, we were talking about social media. What do you see out there that you think everyone's doing wrong? What is one thing that you see and you just go, stop it? It could be corporate, it could be corporations, could be.
Yeah, I think is, and I'm working with a lot of corporations, and I think what people are doing wrong is, and I will do a post on this soon, is that they think they're doing social business, but in reality they're just doing social communications. Mm-hmm. And many companies say, yeah, we're a social business, and it's because we have social communications enabled in marketing and customer support, and sometimes HR, internally and externally with the group. Right? And I think, yeah, that's great, good job, but I think there's more to do. And I really want to, and we'll talk about this more in some of the other questions, and I really want people to think bigger. And my last research has been around the collaborative economy, where we're seeing that actual business models and products and services themselves are becoming social. So I think that the next phase is upon us. I think social is starting to mainstream and peak, and corporations are getting closer towards that plateau at the top. Our data shows they've got marketing rolled out and support. The rest of the departments are going to come the next few years. There's a lot more work to do, sure, but we're a long ways from truly becoming social businesses. So I really want to help people reset expectations.
So how do you do that? I know in a recent seminar that you did or webinar that you did with Wildfire, I think it was, you were talking about getting companies to think about their social media strategy, internal and external. So how do you get them to think about the difference between just your 4 guys or gals or whatever monitoring your social media channels, and then really trying to turn that around and affect the bottom line of a company to do actual business and to set goals around that?
Sure, that's a much bigger topic that we can't cover in just a few minutes.
Okay, in 20 words or less. No.
But essentially, there's organizations are funding a small group of people that are cross-functional in companies to manage the social programs. They tend to be led by a corporate social strategist. I've done all the research on team size, their goals, what do they do, and the maturity landscape of that. We're about midway through that cycle. Many companies are reaching that halfway point of maturity. And then from there, they start to measure and tie that to the bottom line as they connect to customers. And that's been one of the challenges, is to measure success.
Okay.
But that's a nutshell of that.
Okay, yeah. And we'll look forward to your future analysis and research around that topic. So winding up here, I'd like to just know, what's your favorite online time suck?
I find myself lost in Reddit.
Same.
And I can't get out.
I know. I know. There's something for everyone.
Community and culture. And, even the comments are hilarious, a little bit sometimes too wild. And then all the sub-channels. It's like an online magazine created by Proud.
Yeah.
All types of entertainment, from to discussions to ask me anything to videos, just like it goes on and on and on, and it's like it's definitely supplanted Dig and Delicious in my opinion, and
Yeah.
it's more interesting than Facebook in many cases because Facebook's limited to what my friends are doing in their lives, and while I love them dearly, food pictures and their cat pictures and their family pictures are great. There's a threshold, I'm going to talk about for a little different topics that are outside of my social graph. So Reddit is my time saver.
I'm with you there. Final two questions. Any hidden talents that we should know about, Jeremiah, that even your friends, coworkers don't know about?
Well, I used to be a professional musician.
Oh.
One time, and I did jazz, and I've been on a tour with Latin jazz and ska bands and jazz, and I've done that. Started playing piano at age 4, and I even played at hotels at the piano, like the piano lounge guy. I've done that, and even took jazz requests, even as a solo. I'm really, really old and rusty on that now. I don't really practice that at all. But that was a kind of like a prior life, and I switched keyboards from the 88 black and white keys to the ASDF keys now, quarter keys. So it is a similar thing, and I still present on stage, which is this form of performance. So I use a lot of those skills and experiences and just transferred into the business world. I feel still I'm performing, a musician, a performer somehow. It's just in a different way.
Absolutely, it translates. And then finally, Jeremiah, as we close out today, what is your favorite C word?
Collaborative.
Nice.
Collaborative is my favorite C word. From helping to structure Altimeter's business model around open research to I have comments open, and I want to hear and I listen and I read everything that's on my blog posts. I see all the tweets and I try to favorite them when I see people saying interesting things. I'm learning with the crowd. And I believe that there's a place where companies, startups, people, and myself all collaborate together. And that's some of my upcoming research that I'm focused on. In fact, my next research that I just published 6 weeks ago is called the collaborative economy. And I encourage everybody to take a look at that. And it ties the sharing economy, but there's a role for corporations to play in this, not just be disruptive and fight it. So please take a look for that reporting.
And I saw that on the front page, the homepage at altimetergroup.com. I think it's linked there, right there at the top. Well, thank you so much, Jeremiah, for your insights, for talking with us today, for sharing a little bit about yourself. We really appreciate it. We think you're very clever, which is why we're excited to talk to you. Thanks for helping to kick off our series. Happy Friday. Bye.